And now it's time for development debates. We dig deeper into some of the questions shaping the future and present of China. Today, we'll see Chinese experts debate if high-temperature subsidies should be given to workers. Recently, the ongoing heat wave has scorched half of China. The Beijing Meteorological Center issued yellow alerts to warn people about high temperatures the past 4 days. The average temperature in northern Chinese cities was over 95 degrees Fahrenheit. A report from Qilu Evening News said that a builder died after he worked for 6 days continuously on multiple building sites in the extreme heat. The tragedy and the high temperatures sparked heated debate about high-temperature subsidies for Chinese people. The Chinese government has a regulation which says that companies should pay high subsidies to workers when they need their workers to do work outdoors in hot weather, or if the maximum daily temperature goes above 95 degrees, and also if they cannot take effective measures for reducing the falling workplace temperatures to 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Although the specific standards of the high-temperature subsidies are listed and the national level was revised in 2012, it has not been so easy to implement it in reality. According to news from China News Agency, most high-temperature works have never heard or received subsidies from their companies. Companies take measures to avoid paying the money. Some of them keep their factories' temperatures just below 91 degrees Fahrenheit, or they replace the cash subsidies with green bean juice or green tea. That is to say, most Chinese enterprises aren't taking the high-temperature subsidies seriously. So for most workers stuck in the heat, the subsidies are just something that sound good but aren't really. A piece from the Guangming Daily website pointed out that although it seems the high-temperature subsidies are set according to local conditions, the monthly allowance is less than $40. It even has the most dynamic management areas. Their subsidy increases are less than the inflation and CPI flotation. No matter what it's based on, it can't justify the extremely harsh working conditions for those trapped in the heat. The article also noted that the tragedy in Jinan reflected the human factors in the implementation process. The embarrassment of the slow adjustment showcased the dilemmas of people in the bottom rungs of the ladder trying to improve their living conditions. High-temperature subsidies are typically targeting populations with construction workers on building sites and those workers in the super hot sweatshops. It is also for cleaners on the road. They are some of the country's most vulnerable people who frequently have trouble protecting their own rights. On one hand, they lack good channels of broadcasting their needs and interests. Thereby, they're subjected to bear the cost of errors in the system's design. For one, they don't have guaranteed rights of speech, and they're generally looked down upon in Chinese society too. The piece said the high temperatures must be practical. It said it was because it was both the foundation for Chinese society to pay its respects to the grassroots level workers, and also a sign that their basic rights can be achieved. However, an article posted on iqilu.com believes that if all workers get the high temperature subsidies, it'll be hard to guarantee that workers will be healthy after they work long hours under the hot sun. The article said that it should be noted that workers have varying situations. Some poor workers need the subsidies to support their families. They would never use it on themselves. Some others can use the subsidies to withstand the high temperatures. This would be for spending on simple things like buying a fan or drinking cold drinks. Others don't even have a good idea of how to use the subsidies. Though they picked up the subsidies, they feel it's unnecessary to spend money in the blistering heat. These can end up being serious problems for the workers. One important thing to do is to teach workers the dangers of working in the heat. They can take the jobs because they need the money, and some might do it because they don't understand the risk involved. But their complacency or undereducation is no excuse for companies or the local governments to turn a blind eye to these risks. The high-temperature subsidies would ideally pay for items that help maintain a dignified and safe work environment.